Picture this. You're alone on a small boat in the dead of night. The engine is off, the water is glassy and still. Suddenly, hundreds of small fish burst to the surface in an absolute panic. Something massive has spooked them. And then, right beneath the hull, you see them. Eyes the size of basketballs, glowing in the pitch black. Long, muscular tentacles reach up. This sounds like a maritime ghost story, but marine biologists will tell you it's completely plausible in the deep ocean. Encounters like this feed directly into the terrifying lore of the Bermuda Triangle. Over the decades, rough estimates indicate that roughly 50 ships and 20 airplanes have vanished in this specific region, leaving zero trace of their passengers or wreckage. Take the strange case of the SS Cotopaxi. In 1925, the cargo ship steamed out of Charleston Harbor, headed for Havana, and never arrived. For nearly a century, it was just another maritime ghost. Marine researchers didn't actually confirm the identity of its underwater wreck until January 2020. The military has fared no better. In 1945, 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers, known as Flight 19, got completely lost on a routine patrol. The Navy immediately launched a massive PBM Mariner flying boat to find them. 3 minutes after taking off, the rescue plane sent a routine radio message, and then it too disappeared forever. You would expect a zone with this kind of body count to be heavily mapped and quarantined, but the term Bermuda Triangle was entirely made up by a magazine writer named Vincent Gaddis in 1964. The US government does not officially recognize it. Ask 5 different researchers where the borders actually lie, and you will get 5 completely different answers. We are hunting a killer with no fixed address. So what is pulling these vessels into the abyss? One compelling scientific theory points straight to the ocean floor. Decomposing organic matter traps huge concentrations of methane gas under the mud. If a pocket bursts, the rising gas drops the water's density so sharply that a ship instantly loses buoyancy and drops straight down. It's brilliant physics, but there is a major problem with the timeline. Data from the United States Geological Survey confirms that no significant gas releases have actually occurred in this region for the last 15,000 years. If the threat isn't coming from the mud, it might be dropping from the sky. Meteorologists have tracked bizarre hexagonal cloud formations in the region. These clouds act like localized weather bombs, blasting the ocean surface with microbursts of wind reaching up to 270 kilometers per hour. When those violent winds push multiple ocean swells together at high speeds, they stack into rogue waves. We are talking about a sudden, solid wall of water soaring over 30 meters high. A direct strike from a wave that size will pulverize a vessel into pieces so small they simply wash away. Weather anomalies are brutal, but they leave gaps in the timeline. Many of the most famous aircraft and vessels vanished on perfectly clear, sunny days with 0 recorded storms. To explain those specific disappearances, we have to turn back to biology. For centuries, sailors shared terrifying stories of a monster called the Kraken. They weren't entirely hallucinating. The deep waters of the ocean are the natural hunting ground of the giant squid, a verified apex predator perfectly adapted to absolute darkness, up to 900 meters below the surface. A giant squid depends on the element of surprise, striking from the dark depths to seize a hole. Its 8 arms and 2 longer tentacles are covered in dozens of suckers, each lined with sharp, serrated teeth designed to grip and shred anything they latch onto. These animals reach staggering sizes. Biologists have documented specimens measuring up to 18 meters long and weighing close to a ton. They are famously elusive, but in 2004, marine biologists recorded the first live video footage of a giant squid attacking a lure in the wild. That footage was captured right on the edge of the Bermuda Triangle. Biologically, an 18-meter predator is capable of destroying a historic wooden galleon. However, even a ton of muscle and teeth is structurally incapable of compromising the hull of a modern steel freighter. The force causing these modern losses exists on a different scale entirely. If we strip away the ghost stories, the methane, and the sea monsters, we are left with hard marine data, and the data reveals a fascinating truth. The Bermuda Triangle does not even make the list of the top 10 most dangerous bodies of water on Earth. What actually sets this region apart is the staggering volume of commercial traffic passing through it. It connects the eastern seaboard of the United States directly to the Caribbean and South America, making it one of the most heavily congested shipping lanes on the planet. That heavy traffic is forced to navigate through a deeply treacherous geological layout. The waters here are littered with jagged, incredibly shallow reef systems. A minor navigational error can instantly wedge a massive hull onto rock just a few feet beneath the surface. When you funnel thousands of commercial freighters, luxury cruise liners, and amateur sailors through a dense bottleneck packed with submerged hazards and sudden storms, high volumes of accidents are mathematically inevitable. When we overlay the historical wreckage data directly onto these industrial shipping lanes, a clear pattern emerges. The shipwrecks concentrate precisely where the traffic is densest and the water is shallowest. In any high-volume transport corridor with hidden physical hazards, a specific percentage of vessels will inevitably meet with disaster. It is a mathematical certainty, not a supernatural anomaly. The ocean is a chaotic, indifferent force of nature that requires constant respect. But as humans, we find it psychologically easier to blame an invisible curse or a deep-sea monster, rather than admit that sometimes the elements win. If you want to dive deeper into the real science behind the world's greatest mysteries, hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video.